Hi everybody, welcome to Reality Buzz TV where we talk about all things reality TV shows. So, you guys, listen. I want to ask a question. Those who are liking the Ultimate Girls Trip, who are following it, okay? Come over here before I do the review. I have a question of why is it that the ladies are okay with Litabo referring to Crystal as a dog, but now khona bakhalayo now because they were called rats, khona abafonela mama babo because they were called rats. They were not even called rats. Like Melanie said, your mouth is moving like a rat. Now they are upset about that. Khona bakhalayo because Mel said not today, Satan. Khona bakhalayo because Mel said, what did she say when she was walking away? Bye, Felicia. And also, why be Gogo Kanjilabo and Tiza? Because who doesn't know the statement by Felicia? Why now Sabaya Kala Manja, Sabaya Kala? Even the following day, they are still crying. Now they are emotional. Are they all PMSing? It happens sometimes when you're all together as women. All of you are PMSing at the same time. Because why are they crying, guys? Ulizzy there is crying. I'm going to take a plane and go see my daughter right now because I'm like, and it was causing chaos because it's you guys who are causing chaos. You are supposed to be enjoying the trip there by Jamaica, but you are causing chaos. Now it's like they are now all victims. And as for Litabo must not, because Litabo has not accounted or taken accountability for saying Ukutu Crystal is a dog. A leash must be put on Crystal because Crystal is a dog. And then she's upset because they said her mouth is moving like a rat. I've never seen a mouse move a mouth. Maybe she did look like a rat, but I don't know. But nobody said you were a rat, and nobody said we were Satan. Even though some of them are behaving like Satan's children, nobody said you were Satan. Even though Satan will recognize you, but this one is behaving it's like this one was raised by me. But nobody said that. So now, I'm wondering. Now I'm here rewatching episode 4 towards the end because I'm like, clearly I missed something. Because now, beginning of episode 5, everybody's now crying. Now it's a victim. Litabo changed her room now. Litabo is sleeping in another room. For the what? For the why? Yeah? It was a shintili room. She was calling her mom. Uma wakhe sele uthi holy impatient manje ubhizi ulalele izinto zama-real housewives manje uMakalithabo. Hi guys, naku futhi noBeverly naye akasekhala. I wish I had a mom to call. What happened? Why are they then all victims, guys? I must have missed something. But for Litabo specifically, I don't understand it, you guys. You also used a name that is unacceptable. Why now are you acting like this is Abo Antiza? Abasangipora with the tears. How? They are the ones that are mean. Got the foot manje. They are acting like everybody's mean to them. It's schemeless, yana. It's strong of fana. Namacicila wana ama sauce. But guys, ulasi ufani. Athi ngeke ngifaka amasoso endlebeni zami namasoso angaka igqilaze mina indlebe zami lavele lilawa icicila lasi. Guys, please help me to understand why everybody is crying right now. I don't get it. So you guys, let's review the show. Here's how I'm feeling about the whole trip, you guys. I do feel like it's not giving as much as I thought it was going to give, and there's something missing when it comes to the cast members. Okay. Also, I feel like, you guys, for some reason, I'm not liking how Litabo is on that trip. Like I said on my last video, I felt like Ulitabo understood her as somebody that is independent and is not going to click up with people and just follow them like we had on Real Housewives of Durban, where people were friends and they had to agree on everything. But she's doing just that, you guys. And for some reason, she is being extra mean to Crystal even when there is no need. We know Crystal is delulu, okay? Something is off with Crystal. She's not okay. But I feel like with her, she is making too much effort to be mean to Crystal. And it's just making me not like her, you guys. Now, besides everything else, Mel saying the things that she said when she said, the rat's mouth and all of that, they are still bothered by the bag, because remember last week she admitted because she's recording them. They are saying she goes everywhere with that bag. Even when they go to breakfast, the bag would be there. Nobody understands what is in the bag. But I guess now they know that there is a recording. I'm not understanding how they are not challenging the fact that there is a recording on that bag, because I would challenge the production about that. I'll be like, listen, I need to be sure that there's no recording there. I signed for you guys to record me, not for her to record me. So I don't want to be recorded. I will be like, I'm not shooting no scene with this woman until I know that she doesn't have any recording device on her. So I'm not understanding why they're not challenging it. And maybe they are scared to do it. I don't know, you guys. For me, I just don't understand that. I just wouldn't allow it, okay? Now, they get to talk about dating, and this is where Lassie gets to open up about the former president, you guys. The thing that we wanted her to do long ago on Real Housewives of Devon, she's doing now, you guys. Listen, Lassie must be the only person that thinks that their ex was like the greatest person that they have ever dated, and they are going to have a hard time meeting somebody better than their ex. Like, they really are. She's like the only person in the world that thinks that, because most people, normal people, think that their exes, most people are regretting ever dating their exes. Sometimes you look at your ex and be like, God, what was that? Okay? Uzusho nakubantu ukuthi kodwa guys nani ngangikhuza ngani ukuthi ngiphuma lapha ya. So Lassie is the only person that speaks like that about her ex. Sometimes I feel like she makes it up in her mind what the relationship was. I don't know. It's like she lives in fantasy world, okay? Because from when you're looking at that relationship from the outside, this was an old man that took advantage of a very young girl who just came of age at 19 years old, a virgin, took advantage of that and promised her marriage and never even delivered that. That's what we know and see. And after that, after she had a baby and used her for like a few months or something, because once the baby was born, she said herself that the baby daddy was nowhere to be found, and then she forgot about, he forgot about Lassie. I'm not understanding how somebody that you were in a relationship with, where that happens, you are talking about him like he is God. Like, that's the part for me that doesn't make sense. After you had a baby, he left you. You said he never even broke up with you. He just left you, and he cut off financial support. This is the same person. But Lassie would be acting like she dated. Now it's going to be very hard to find someone who is going to meet. I'm like, it's very easy to find somebody that is a good baby daddy, for an example. It's very easy to find a guy that can financially support you. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. But she says right now she's in a place where she allows Ashelwe and all of that, you guys. And I think it's going to be hard for her to find a man. And there's nothing wrong with her having standards. But I'm just not understanding why the standard is, in terms of the position he was holding, being the president, yes. But in terms of him being in a relationship, I don't believe that he was that great, you guys. I don't believe that he was as great as Lassie is making him to be. I feel like Lassie, the Delulu that is Crystal is the Delulu that is Lassie. I love her, but there is something Delulu about Lassie thinking the former president was the greatest boyfriend that she ever had, when she also says that he left her after the baby came. Anyway, you guys, they end up talking about, I guess, finding love, because she was saying that she's still hopeful that she's going to find love. And then Unonku is talking about how she was once offered 100,000 rands to go spend time with this man, and because the man had a big belly, she never went. A man wanted just dinner. Knowing Unoko, she would have given more than just dinner, because it's almost like she's on ready. From what we've said, it's like she's on ready. Noko would have given more than. Honestly, you guys, I thought, yo, wenza kahle wangaya mhlawumbe bekuyilaba abathwele. Ngabe uNonku usagula washona. Anyway, but it was interesting that when Nonku is talking about this story, because I was offered 100,000, but when I saw this man had a big pot belly and all of that, I refused. Ulasi was the one that was like, you should have gone. Just go and have dinner. Because I was like, of course Lassie is going to say that, because I think looks and all of that don't matter to Lassie. Because guys, when Lassie got with our former president, Ubaba was already Ubaba, okay? And Ubaba was looking like Ubaba, okay? So I'm like, now I get it, because Vela, you would have gone, because when the looks don't matter. Anyway, you guys, I guess Unonku said that she didn't go there. To be honest with you, Unonku, when it comes to relationship, she's just like a confused lady at this point. She is a confused lady. She's talking about polygamy. She's in this polygamous relationship. Listen, you guys, she was supposed to have a date with this guy. For some reason, they're not going to have a date anymore. Now she is back to talking about the boyfriend that she was talking about at the beginning of the season, the one that has a girlfriend. Now I'm like, how? And if you have him, because at one scene she was saying she was single, but now she's saying now she's not single. She's in that relationship with the other girl where they know each other. I ngeke uzobe confused njengoNonku ngitshele mina. And then you guys listen, there is a cute scene that they showed between Crystal and Mel. And honestly, it's hard to see or to judge if Mel is being genuine, because I feel like Crystal and Melanie are delusional. They're delusional about their own lives. But for some reason, Mel can see the delusion in Crystal, but she can't see the delusion in her. I don't know, guys, but I feel like they could make good friends, because they can support each other in their own delusion. So they were just sitting and talking. They're talking about their love life, the 28-year-old that Crystal had as a husband who dumped her and went to Zanzibar to start a business there, only told her 6 days before he left that he was leaving. Her heart was left broken. Maybe that's why Crystal is the way that she is on the trip, because obviously she looks like something is amiss, okay? She looks like she's not emotionally okay. Even mentally, you guys, she doesn't look like she's okay. That's why I just feel like Crystal should not have gone on that trip. Then Mel now talks about her relationship now, how she had tried all of these, she had gone on all of these great dates, and she didn't like the man. And then when she met Pete, and then she fell in love with Pete, they tried everything they can to break up, but kwanga break up heck, and then then she found her great man. Okay, listen, Crystal, I feel like another thing that she's struggling with, she wants to always be the one that has the greatest story. She wants to always be the one that has the greatest love story, the greatest heartbreak story, the greatest. When they are sharing, she wants to be that. I could see the jealousy in her eyes or in her face when she was listening to Melanie talking about Pete. And it's almost like she wants to be the one that shares this wonderful story, but she doesn't have a wonderful story right now, because she was dumped by this young boy. I don't know what she was doing with that young 28-year-old who left her. I don't know if she thought that it was going to last forever, but she was obviously heartbroken. So I feel like there's a jealousy in Crystal, because she wanted to be the one that has the greatest love story. But anyway, they pretend that they are friends and all of that. I say pretend, you guys, because I really can't tell if it's genuine with both of them, because I feel like both of them are not real. They are delusional about who they are, their position just in the whole franchise of Real Housewives. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe they are genuine in the delusion that they are in, both of them, Melanie and Krista. So you guys, we also get Ulithabo and Bev, which is what I was talking about in the beginning. That Bev comes to speak to Ulithabo, telling crying and saying, you know what happened to you last night? Umel was calling you names. I'm like, what names? because besikhona nje nathi last night. Angithi we watched the scene. They're like, no, Lona, Umel was calling your names. You know what she's talking about? She's talking about Umel saying, not today, Satan. She's talking about Umel saying your mouth is moving like a rat, you know. Now I'm like, how ulitabo? Manje usediniwe. Who says she had to call her mom, they had to change her room. I'm like, how little, you should have just said that you didn't like your room so that they can change your room, because it's definitely not because of what Melanie said. And also she wasn't looking sad. Beverly uyakhala, ukhalela leyo nto, she wishes she could call her mom. Crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff. I was even like, okay, maybe there's something that happened that we didn't see, where Melanie said more things than we saw Tina, you know, but there wasn't. They didn't show anything. Okay, Klampeke, they edited it out, but why would they put that part in if they edited the actual event out? I don't know, you guys. And then we saw such a funny scene where Mel, I don't know what her obsession is with this script. There is a scripture. At some point on Instagram, Unonko had shared a scripture with, she had shared a scripture on Instagram, and then Upeveli had shared it also on her Instagram page. She posted it. Okay, it's talking about how you should treat each other or talk to each other and all of that. And Melanie has been on this mission to prove Uguti Beverly doesn't live according to this scripture. So even today she was reading the scripture and saying, she's so guys. By the way, you guys, I realized that actually she's hiding that she can understand Zulu. So they might gossip about her in Zulu and she would know what they say. She probably knows all of the African languages, that one. She's like, she's not living this scripture. And then was scripture was slash. I'm like, what is the obsession with this scripture? I mean, doesn't she have anything better on Bev than this scripture that she keeps referring to? She doesn't live what she preaches. I think from now on, guys, because did I not laugh? Did I not laugh when Melanie was like, hey, she doesn't live what she preaches? Okay? Anyway, you guys, listen. They had to go to wheat farm. I like this episode because at least they had something to do, get out of the villa instead of, sitting by the pool and just fighting. Okay, so they went to a wheat farm and they were explaining them, how wheat is made and all of that, how they planted, all of that boring stuff. And then they had to go to a certain area now where they were teaching them how to roll a zol. And Crystal chose not to do it. And then Mel also chose not to do it. I don't know if Mel chose not to do it because in support of Crystal. And so they decided to walk away because they don't want to be seen on TV rolling a zol. Okay. Then Ulase decided not to do it, but she still said while the ladies were doing it. And of course, Unonko did it. The sister of Jesus, she did it. She rolled it. Not only did she roll it, but she smoked it. She smoked it. So it became, I think, you guys, when the two ladies were saying they're not going to participate, which was Crystal and Beverly. Okay, so this is where Beverly says to the ladies, bye Felicia, when she's walking away. She says, bye Felicia, we're not going to participate. Bye Felicia. So they move away from the area. Then they're like, who is Felicia? As if they've never heard of that statement. Who is Felicia? Now Nongo says something that blonde woman, referring to Melanie. Kadu Melanie uyamuzi. Okay, so they go again now, they're on the side again. Now go Crystal again. No Melanie being delusional again together again. Now we're talking about the ladies. Look at them. Unongo is a parent. What is her kids going to say? She's teaching her kids to roll a zoli. And look at Uliz and Uliz, apparently she has a daughter. Daughter is married to somebody that smokes a lot of zol. Information that her husband gave to her about Liz, but that's what she said. She's like, but she's on TV busy rolling amazoli, but her son-in-law is struggling with addiction or something like that. Afterwards, you guys, I guess after the others smoked and whatever, they're high now and whatever, the two ladies come back. Okay, so they're trying to just sit together because apparently they were supposed to have lunch after that together. But when they are sitting down, the others are talking about what happened that made the others leave. So then again, Futu Mel decides Jenna Oguti she's going to leave the table, but Crystal stays behind. This is where I actually saw Oguti. Oh, later, but whether she has a reason or not, she's just going to be mean to Crystal because Crystal at that point didn't say anything to La Joy. She just sat at the table while Melanie was walking away. But Litabo then was saying to Crystal, are you going to leave too? Because you always follow Melanie around. And nobody called Olitabo out on that. I really just don't like that, guys. I don't want to lie. Litabo was one of my faves, but this trip or this season put me off Olitabo. For some reason, because she just wants to click with that group, she's just becoming mean for no reason. Okay, because if she should be angry, let's just say that we agree with her, would say that not today certain thing is a thing. She was calling you Satan and she also called you the rat. It wasn't Crystal, it was Melanie. So what's your issue with Crystal? You know? So I don't understand that, you guys. Now Lassie decides to go and call Melanie and say, listen, at the end of the day, we are living in the same villa. You guys are going to have to sort this out. Be like, listen, we're going to go back and talk about it. Now you have to take accountability for the things that you said because you have called people names, which I don't think she did. I actually don't think that Melanie called anybody names. It's just them that are choosing to say things, hear their own things. Okay, if somebody said not today, Satan, they're not saying you are the Satan. But you can choose if your goal today is to get offended, you can choose that you're going to believe that. So they come back to the table now. They're just trying to talk things over. And Noku was actually the first one that said, listen, I apologize for the statement that I said. We might have issues with each other, but that statement I shouldn't have said. That was a blonde woman when she was walking away. She also apologizes to Melanie for being condescending. She says, listen, I might have been condescending to you guys, so I am sorry. Litabo doesn't apologize to nobody about calling somebody a dog. You know? I'm just saying. Okay? These are some of the things that make me not to like her because now all of a sudden she's a victim, but she's forgetting what came out of her own mouth. You know? She didn't apologize, you guys. So then Ulasi decides to do this really like ngizothi njanje lento abebenza nkosi yami. I was like, yo, hayi ke wazwasibhoro Ulasi. Ulasi is like, guys, can we go around, all of us talk about what our franchise, Real Housewives has done for us. And I'm like, oh, hayi wasibhora ke manje. So they had to go around and say, Mina, since I did the show, this is what I've done. Da, 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 da. So she started by saying, after the show, she did Ingane Yami, and she's done many other shows. I think out of everybody that has done Housewives, Ulasi is the one that has been able to like maximize the opportunities outside of the show. Whereas she just did 2 seasons of Real Housewives. She really has. She's been working ever since. And then they go around, and then it gets to Crystal. Liz didn't have much. She was like, we went to different restaurants, different. I'm like, hi, Liz, that's not what they're talking about, you know. They're talking about outside the show helped you to do what? And then Crystal was like, listen, the show made me become famous quickly, so I could use it in my other, you know, things, okay, music and all of that, because the show just blew me up. But while she was talking, Litabo disturbed her. I think maybe Ulitabo no Crystal have something efana one. It's like there are people that want to have the biggest story. They you know, the biggest story told, you know, because Crystal wanted to, when she's saying I became so famous because of the show, Litabo couldn't wait because she also wanted to tell us how famous she became, how big she became after she did the show. She could have just waited, and Crystal was almost done. She could have just waited a few minutes, but she just couldn't do it because she's like, this woman is about to tell the biggest story, but I should. So she cuts her off. Nobody even corrects her because Lassie had promised them, listen, guys, we are going to talk. Nobody's going to cut anybody mid-sentence. We're going to let a person talk and finish, and then you let the person talk, finish. And I think they have all the time. They're in Jamaica, very to shoot the show. Where the hell are they rushing to? So I didn't see why they wouldn't just let Crystal finish a sentence. And the state that she's in now, she gets upset about everything. She's going to get upset about this. So she starts saying that, listen, I'm the biggest thing on radio right now because after I did the show, then my radio numbers, I'm the girl that I think I am on radio. And I'm like, that's great. And it still would have been great if you told us 2 minutes later than you just told it. So if you just wasted 2 or 3 minutes to tell it, it still would have sounded great. Okay. So I'm not understanding at this point why Litabo is doing that to Crystal. Because for me, it's like anything that Crystal says, and is like pushing Crystal. Okay. Anyway, you guys, when Melanie was apologizing to the group, Crystal thought that Melanie was being fake because I think that because they had talked so much about the other ladies, she thought there's no way that Melanie is going to still try and become friends with the other ladies. And because, you guys, everybody was making peace, even when they were apologizing, everybody apologized, but nobody apologized to Crystal. They even said in that diary session that they forgot about Crystal, which I thought was mean. I thought it was mean. So Crystal said something like, you know what, I'm done here and I don't belong here, so I'm leaving. I don't know if she was just saying she's leaving the scene, but it kind of felt like she's saying she's leaving a trip. I hope for Crystal's sake that she just leaves a trip, because I do feel like they don't like her. Nobody's concerned about her being okay, and she doesn't have a friend there. And I do feel like mentally she was not in a state where she should have done the show. I hope that she just leaves and goes home. Anyway, you guys, there was the episode for today. Honestly, like I said last week, I don't like the ganging up of the ladies. Okay, but I guess at this point we can't do nothing about it. And I am extremely irritated by the fact that when the show was advertised, we were promised Ulond London and we haven't seen him, and we're in episode 5 already, So for me, it's like, why did you even tell us that she's coming? Okay, she should have been a surprise guest or something, because clearly she's coming towards the end of the trip. What was the point of that? Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about when it comes to this show. But zange bakhale kanje ogogo bengazi ukuthi bakhalelani. Uliz, I can't do this. And then Crystal asked a valid question, you guys, because Crystal was like, what has happened to you? Because nobody has done anything to Liz. It's like, you're coming from my friend, so you're going to leave a trip because they're coming for your friend. Hey. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pomego, and share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers.